Well, hi everybody, Chris here, and on the bench today I want to show you this. It is a quad board from Quadram. This was a really popular and common add-on card in the 80s, very similar to your AST 6-packs and such. It had a serial port, a parallel port, a game port, 384K of RAM to get you to that mega awesome 640K level, and it had an onboard real-time clock, which means of course there's a battery. Ugh, the dreaded Varta. So these things leak, and this one of course is no different. I'm not sure if you can see, but there is some corrosion on the board here. So yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to save this thing or not, but we've got to get that battery off. Bye-bye, battery. We'll take that thing off and clean up the corrosion and see maybe if there's some hope for this thing yet. Alright, so with that battery out of there, we do see in the area some corrosion. And we do have corrosion all the way out to the bracket here. But honestly, you know, the board in this section doesn't look that bad. It looks like most of the corrosion is right in that area there. So let's get that cleaned up with some vinegar, and then we'll look at the traces and anything else that might need attention before we put this thing on the bench to test. So yeah, vinegar. Here is a look at InfoWorld from June 27th, 1983. We found a vintage ad here for Quadram Quadboards. Just $395. Yes, that's in 1983 dollars with 64K installed. The world's best selling IBM PC board for the world's best price. Oh, dependability and tradition and all these things. Oh, wonderful. Yes, they had software utilities for these things. And I love that they call the onboard clock a chronograph. It comes with an onboard chronograph. That's Quadram quality. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I had to know, you know, $395 1983 dollars. Through the inflation calculator, $1,037. Oh my goodness. Right? Like, just think about that. Man, 64K and a serial port for $1,000. Jeez, love it. I love it. So, how did this thing turn out? Well, after looking at it with a backlight, I could definitely see some broken traces. In fact, there were several broken traces. Unfortunately, that's typical of what happens in the corrosion here. It just turns out that in this area of the board where the battery is at, the traces are really fine. They used a thin copper and fine traces here, so yeah, once the corrosion gets to them, there really isn't much copper there to begin with, and a few of these traces on this board have indeed vanished. So to fix this board, which the rest of it looks fine, and sure, it could be fixed. We would have to reconnect the traces, and that would probably involve mapping out which ones are broken, and then connecting them to the pins on the various ICs to make those connections again. And yeah, I've done it. I've done it with some other boards. It can be done. Unfortunately, for this quad board, I'm not going to do it today. So we'll save this one for another day. We'll maybe have a quad board repair-a-thon, because I have a few of these that ended up in this same shape. So, yeah, we'll save the quad boards for another day. Well, thanks for taking a look at it with me anyway here on the bench, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.